to engage, and also critically so is important, but to avoid what you may call generalization, the fallacy of generalization, or condemning a wholesale class, like we have had in the past, like in Uganda, when the Asian community was condemned, and there was an exodus, and it had serious implications. Yet Indians were very instrumental also in the fight for independence of Uganda. Just like in Kenya, we had Macharia, we had Pio Gama Pinto, very patriotic nationalists, although they came from India. We all came from somewhere. And also in political classes, there are individuals. Even now, if you go to the UDA party, I may not agree with it as a party. I may not be part of that extension, but there are individuals that you can pick. I may not agree, for reasons, with ODM, but I will celebrate Dr. Nyikal as an icon, as a legend of the contributions in University Academic Staff Union, UASU, in the student organization of University of Nairobi, as a professor in the University Medical School, Premier, University of Nairobi, as a director of medical services, and as a very good member of parliament. So I'm saying we can isolate cases. Otherwise, we may have a difficulty in engagement. As I said in the beginning, we are listening more and more, not because we are making a favor to the young people. They have the numbers. Let me just, for instance, mention, as I was making a correction on Manzo when he said that one needs to be that 5 years. Article 137 of the Constitution of Kenya says that a person qualifies for nomination as a president, as a presidential candidate, if that person is a citizen by birth, a person is qualified to stand for election as a member of parliament, also qualifies to be a presidential candidate, and is nominated by a party or is an independent candidate. And then out of the 47 counties, you need only 24. That is the majority of the counties to have each county 2,000 registered voters endorsing your application or nomination, either as an independent or a nominee by a registered political party, which means the nearly 8 million who did not vote, the nearly 5 to 6 million, if not 7, who had not qualified to register as voters in 2022, are now to engage consciously and with the conscience and with the political hygiene and the maturity of the agenda. That is a number that is momentous, is phenomenal, can cause an upset away from the conventional methods, away from the geopolitical and ethnic formations that have determined our politics. And this is a red flag we got. Let me not call it even a red flag. Let's say it is a torch we got last year in the Gen Z nonviolent, tribeless, fearless uprising. So it's a loaded message we received across generations. And we need to blend our thinking, the old people, the young people. If in a certain area, a person comes as an independent and qualifies to be elected of any seat, and integrity is put as a front banner of that Kadisha or contest, you can find across the country very many individuals being elected to dominate county assemblies, the national assemblies, the Senate, and even gubernatorial. So there is a question, but the answer is and marginalization. I wanted to make this comment about this controversial issue that has been generated because of what Macharia is alleged. In my view, the Royal Media Services have played a very, very critical and historic role in galvanizing consciousness, awareness, even the vernacular stations, as they may have limitations They have gone to percolate innovation. Who is more litigious, somebody who is prone to go to court on all madam issues, you know, and business. The daring is very, very important, and you do that from young age. And you can Macharia did as he was traveling to America. You a man of temerity, courage, and brilliance, and he dares, and you know, so it's important to appreciate. But I want to quickly say this as a response to what he said, with a total respect. For Kenya's democracy. Number one, in response to whether Raila won in 2022, I know it's a tiring issue. I've seen Kanchore, the chief agent, what he has just said today, that is unspoken and untold. It's the fact that Raila slept through his own presidential campaign strategy meetings. The Naivasha retreat that Dr. S.K. Macharia mentioned, where he was trying things, and I have it on authority of proximity because we were there in his campaign. We were in there as a mayor, and we were supporting him, even putting his portrait on our posters everywhere in the village, and saying, even if you deny me at their time, this man comes to meetings, he is sleeping. He did not speak to even his candidate across, maybe a few, but the majority that I know, from Meru, from Laikipia, from Isiolo and all that, there was no conversation or attachment with the presidential campaign because the deep state, with the cabinet secretaries and the mandarins of top state organs were in charge. Number three, he never invested in agents in the entire Mount Kenya region, yet we still gave him nearly 1.5 million votes. Those who volunteered before voting day, were never even facilitated or compensated those who are recruited to volunteer as his campaigners. And I remember on a Saturday, the 6th of August, in the evening, so there was like a kind of a mutiny. Over that weekend, people are calling us. I was called even by the running mate, Honorable Mother Karua, on a Saturday. You know, we don't have agents in Nyeri, we don't have agents in Kenya, we don't have agents in Laikipia, everywhere. So how do we expect to win? We say, of course, it's democracy, so we don't need to protect our vote. But what's the meaning of agents? And people can say, why didn't you volunteer agents? We had agents, we tried to volunteer where we could, but still there was mismanagement. And what I would say is, even if people can go to the clips, even in our own counties, like in Nyeri, even in Embu, the ODM characters would come to be masters of ceremonies. In our own villages, they were imported, showing us the middle finger, embarrassingly mocking the mic on us as voters. Our own voters watched. One day I had to patch on Raila's vehicle at a place called Chaka in Kieni of Nyeri County to request him to allow us, the local people who are campaigning on Azimio, as governors, as senators, as members of parliament, as women reps, as we traversed Kieni, Madeira, Mukurweini, Udaya, Teto, Nyeri town, to at least give us some prominence, to allow us to speak. As we seek our vote, we also ask for his vote. But for him and his team, even the running mate, Mother Karua, I watched that. I have never said this. did not have even the opportunity to pick the mic in our own geopolitical region and moderate those functions for people to see that she was in charge, and yet we expected her to deliver the Mount Kenya region, as opposed to how Ruto allowed the Rigathi, sorry for the fallout later, to move around and dominate. And wherever they went, you'd allow the local people to play a part. So what I would say in conclusion, the Dr. SK story is innocent. It is even necessary. However, we have built the Raila story, aggravations and the lamentations. It is a story for the books. It's a story for history, not for the days ahead. We focus ahead because it is necessary now to invest. As we can analyze, we can criticize, yes, but more effort now in organizing, in encouraging, in motivating, in networking, so that the template that emerges ahead of 2027 is not just about ODM or Wiper or UDA, is about the integrity charter, the accountability charter that is percolating, that is going down to the village, down to the police station, down to the ward, so that those who are thieves, those who have who are murderers, those who are looters, those who have caused impunity in Kenya will even have shame to dare to go to enlist in a political party to contest. But so long as we don't make it the criminality of corruption, the criminality of impunity and the ethnic bigotry, and the sort of statement I see some some of our hostile friends, members of parliament and the Senate saying, oh, we are going to isolate this region. Oh, the rules are complaining alone. Oh, we are going to marginalize the Kalenjin, or nobody can come from the Kaba community to lead. We forget we have the Giriamas, we have the Digos, we have, the Somalis, we have people from Borana community. The dream of the founders of Kenya was easily revived in 2002, and I'm happy that we all talk about that rainbow, because although Kebaki was a torchbearer up there, we had call that did not get subsequently, except the hiccups that followed thereafter because of internal implosions. There was still a lot of optimism and hope. And on day one in office, Mwai Kibaki was able to deliver free primary education. Now, on day one of the next election, winning or losing we individually, we should have a Kenya where on day one, merchants of impunity are listed, and on day one, we have even that commission on state capture inquiry, and on day one, to celebrate integrity of systems and individuals and of leadership without any hesitation. I strongly believe that that can happen, and it will happen. I want to reiterate in final word that Kenya's optimism and hope is on the horizon, and it is unstoppable. It will happen. Let's not lose hope.
All right, let's not lose hope. I want to also give Daniel Changi your closing remarks. Let's hear from you as well. Professor?
Thank you very much. I think it has been a very exciting exchange, and I agree with the. I want to say this: the problem in this country from 1963 and even before that has been the politician. The politicians have moved themselves into the center of the Kenyan universe and have locked opportunities away from the Kenyan people. So we must reset our country. I'm hearing about the one way that is being suggested in our discussions here. It's on how to have a different electoral practice